Hi, my name is Dr. Yana.
And I'm Captain William.
Merry
Christmas,
Christmas.
Happy Holidays.
Today we are giving you a quick tour.
We're going to walk around the boat on the exterior, multiple deck, and give you guys that keep on asking about boat tour a little bit of an overview, because we were not going to do a video with the holidays. So Merry Christmas to you guys that wanted to see the boat.
Mix Russian dentist and American engineer with 30 years age difference who throw it all away for ocean exploration.
Sell everything, fix the old boat, and sail away.
Time for big guns.
This is definitely the nastiest job I've ever been doing.
Never too late to see the world through our channel. Subscribe and share the adventure.
Starting with the bow of Dawn Hunter, we have triple thickness steel. The typical steel is 1/4-inch plate and is a high chromium steel. Here there's triple plate at the leading edge where it goes down to the keel. We then come around to the hydraulic bow thruster. The hydraulic bow thruster has the cages on each side, and it's powered by a hydraulic system inside the boat. Once again, this plate runs all the way down, and then we get to the keel. The keel from this point down is solid steel. It's not a tube. So this solid steel bar runs the whole length of the boat, which the boat length is 55 feet, and that does not include the bow sprit nor the back platform. So walking along the boat, there are certain locations in the boat that are actually a tank inside. And what I mean by that is we have the hull thickness, we have the ribs, and in certain locations, the complete hull of the boat is the tank. These areas are where in some places the plates were replaced, so we had to come back and modify those locations because that was not made with the high chromium steel. You will see certain locations where there are studs for the anodes, and in those locations is where we added additional plate steel because the connection points were having some small pinholes. It was covered with epoxy, but now it's completely welded. Moving midship, you can see that there was an access hole cut out so they could go inside and completely recoat the inner water tank. So the water tank of this boat starts here all the way down to the bottom of the keel and to the other side of the boat. So it runs from starboard to port. That's why there's 1,000 gallons, and it helps for the center of gravity of the boat. It's exact midship. Going lower, we have a keel core. This is a steel pipe that runs, and it's a keel cooler that was used for the generator. We'll now be converting that for a keel cooler for the air conditioning system. So we are not pulling in seawater and wall water into the air conditioning unit. We have multiple locations of water inlet. There's only 3 of these on the complete vessel. Those go to a water box. The water box then distributes the water for the main engine. Another one is for the air conditioning system. Third one is for the generator system. The boat has multiple locations of water drainage from the top gunnel. This is a top gunnel water drain tube. So it sits just below the water line. It goes all the way up to the gunnel. So when it's pouring rain or we take on seawater, the water then drains down through the gunnel drain rather than just over the side. If it's a huge, huge wave or wake, then in that case it runs down the side of the gunnels. But this keeps most of the dirt and the deck things from below the water line. Moving to the stern, we have a complete solid steel protection and support for the lower portion of the rudder. The rudder connects with a solid steel tube up inside for the steering box and connects down below for the base support. So the rudder is completely keel supported and it is also keel protected. About midship to the back, the keel is hollow, and that is filled with 90 weight oil so it doesn't corrode and rust from the inside out. As is, we found out that the rudder itself is filled with oil, so it also keeps the corrosion from the inside to the outside. You'll see here is the exit tube. It's a 2-inch exit tube, double wall stainless steel. It'll be cut off at the right distance. So this is for the starboard jet thruster that we've added so that the system has a bow thruster of hydraulic and it has a water jet thruster for the stern. We have port side stern thruster, and I've designed a cap that connects onto these thrusters that we can connect a fire hose. So if we need to go down below and do any type of cleaning, silt removal, or any type of high volume, high pressure water work, we have the secondary use of the pump. A little bit higher up, you'll see this is the exhaust discharge for the main engine, and I have integrated and designed into the hull this swim platform support structure. So the swim platform actually pivots and goes downward at anchor, and it raises back up again, so we utilize the double ender design of the vessel. Now moving upward on the boat, you will see on this side that we have the Hawse pipe for the ocean anchor. So there's an ocean anchor in this location that goes through the Hawse pipe to the upper deck. What we did is redesigned and added a new bow pulpit for both the jib furling and the dual anchor system, which will go up on the scaffold now, and we'll show you from the midship deck level. The mighty bow pulpit. This is triple gauge scheduled marine pipe that is then integrated into the bow of the vessel, and I have an adjustable support beam pipe and have added multiple strut to the front of the boat. So now we will have both torsion and tension by the adjustable support. Across the top will be the furling. So we're moving the furling from inside the gunnel to the outside of the gunnel. This is set up for 2 anchors, and this is a 75-pound CDQ anchor. We have a 150-pound C anchor, and then we have a Fortress anchor, which is a 80. So we have 3 different types of anchoring systems on the vessel. Each location has rode or line inlets or anchor lines if you need, and inside are the actually support and structure for any type of connection that you need. Every one of the tubes that went around the teak rails, they were designed and built of steel. We cut all those off and replaced every one of them with stainless steel, and underneath was a small 1/4-inch steel rod. I replaced that with solid stainless steel. So the teak is really a secondary support for visual, but the strength of the whole system is now stainless to stainless, welded completely to the deck. In some previous episodes, you're going to see how bad the locations of the portholes are. And because they are custom built, we would have to cut all the steel out and all of the glass and work. So what I did is designed an insert out of stainless steel. This is the prototype. It will be polished stainless, and this allows the new stainless steel porthole covers and supports to be attached with rubber gasket around between the 2 surfaces, and on the inside with a rubber T-gasket. So now the porthole will seal And also it has been designed with a angle. So now when the rain hits this, the water will come out of the actual location. Before it was sitting here, and that's what caused them to rust away. 14 of those that we've had to bend and make, and you can check out how we made those in a previous video. The original chain plates were on the deck for the mizzen mast, and because the mizzen mast was now relocated 22 inches back, new chain plates are in place. This is stainless to stainless, stainless to steel, and steel to the deck. So now we actually have a much stronger chain plate attaching. At the same time, we had to design enough strength to the dinghy davit system to be able to pick up a substantial amount of weight. So now there's a cross tube connected from one of the stand pipes all the way up at an angle. This has dual pipes down to the deck support through the deck, and then a secondary tube for support and for crane mounting. When designing the dinghy davit system, I had to make sure that we had enough clearance for the swim platform and enough clearance to get past the double ender at the stern. So these plates have been added exterior of the hull, welded directly to the hull, and then as well a T-support plate to the hull. So now we have the full strength of the hull, the deck, in raising and lowering pivot system of the davit. Now we're going to take a walk to the bow of the boat on the gunnel deck. At the bow of the vessel is where I've designed the bow pulpit system that goes through the deck and then goes through and supports itself at deck height. It has cross members of 1/4 inch thick steel, and then those cross members extend back to the windlass anchoring system. The windlass anchoring system is as well solid welded to the deck. So now the chain transfer goes from the windlass to the chain guide and to the 2 anchors. So it's no longer pulling the windlass against the deck. The windlass is effectively connected directly to the chain guides. We still have the lower Hawse pipe for the C anchor. That's located down here, which goes through to the Hawse pipe connection. I've added a waterproof box above deck, and that's where I have the relays and the controls for the windlass. So if I have to get access, I don't have to be going up and down in the deck location. The windlass I also found on Craigslist, so I replaced the original. The original did not, it only had 2 chains. This now has 2 chains, 1 for each anchor, and it has the round for the line or for rope. So I can use this for other work around the mast. This whole deck area will be enclosed in teak with hatches, so underneath we'll have storage and accessories for the anchoring system, and a nice place to hang out and sit. The original roller furling was connected at this location, and now the roller furling will be connected at this cross member location. Further out, giving me a little bit larger sail plan. So let's walk, get past our goodies here. We've added rope and line holders on each side. Main mast is a tabernacle, so the main mast still is allowed to fold back against the top pilot house. Allow us to go under low bridges if needed. I maintain that within the mast structure. We have a 43 on each side. This side isn't mounted yet, but now we have a 43 self-tailing on each side, which before they had a little small 41s. If you look at one of our very beginning videos, even our entry, and Jana's got her big guns out, she was grinding away this whole mast support system. And the reason why there was rust and problems is that the mast was collecting water, which then was rusting this whole area. So this location, I completely sandblasted, got down to bare steel. We've coated it three coats of rust lock. Now this is going to get sanded, one more coat of rust lock, and then 2-part epoxy primer. There's also a boom that we have in the shop that is good for 6,000 pounds. That boom connects at the lower portion of this cathedral mount. It extends up 14 feet. It allows us to go starboard or port and pick up anything from engines to heavy gear to equipment, so we can put that on the upper deck. On the port and starboard are one of the last remaining items we're going to cut out and replace. They were welded to the deck. I've now designed them so they go through the top gunnel and they weld quite a distance below the actual rim rail. The vessel is designed with hurricane shutters. It's actually 1/4-inch aluminum aircraft plate, 1/2-inch plexiglass. That goes on every single of the windows. So in the event of a storm, all the hurricane plates go on, and now coconuts and projectiles aren't going to be popping through the boat. This will walk along the bottom and come back to the top. The gunnels are quite large on the vessel. They're able to collect a great amount of water, and then the water runs down, and if it's a higher level, it'll go through the drains. If it's a lower level, it'll run all the way to the back and then out of the drains that you had seen from the bottom of the video. I actually went in and cut these oversized because they were rusting and there was fiberglass on them. So rather than trying to add steel, I made them a little bit larger. So if we do hit really, really large waves or torrential rains, additional water is going to run through these locations. The boat has bullards in multiple places around the deck, at port starboard, and at bow and stern for heavy-duty line. Again, each one of the windows have studs for the hurricane shutters. The shutter goes on, bolts go in place. For the jib, we have an entrance point into the wheelhouse, and then we can control the jib with the 2 winches from the wheelhouse along the side of the gunnel deck. Dinghy davit system is more than just for a dinghy. It's for lifting heavy pieces of equipment or anything else out of the ocean. So the complete davit system pivots down to the water line with a set of winches down below, and then pivots back up with the dinghy. It also has pulleys on each side to adjust the dinghy when we're underway in case we have a problem with seeing where we're going underway. The stainless steel that many of you asked if I use Silkaflex, this is solid welded stainless to the steel using a 309 welding rod. All locations of the deck, everything I've added to the deck are continuously welded, so I don't have any rust and I don't have any water coming in. On the aft, that's where the jet thruster system is going, and these will have shelving. All the weights come out. This aft deck storage is for the bicycles, for the welding machine, and for other items that we're not going to be using except at certain places. Porthole for our master salon is out of teak and extends completely around the outside of the vessel. The original mizzen mast support was at this location, which only gave about 1.5 feet of distance from the wheel to the seat, and the seat was a 6-inch by 8-inch seat. By moving the mizzen mast back to this location, 22 inches, now the seat is sitting on top of the mizzen mast support structure, and there's a strut tube that goes all the way down to the keel. So I can feel what's going on with the shaft and the keel while sitting on the deck, kind of like an airplane. The support is also designed so I have access and steps for getting above to the upper deck of the wheelhouse. And this complete area will be covered by the 2 solar panels that slide back to the dinghy davit system. Or if we want sun, the solar panels will slide back into the position on top of the wheelhouse. We'll be designing seating area and a laying area here that will be relaxation on the boat. Wheelhouse has taken the longest because we've designed that, and I've designed it to not only be integral to the boat, but also give enough strength for the chain plates and for any type of storm or hurricane. So it has been continuously welded onto the deck, welded onto the sides, and welded onto the front of the structure, and still maintaining the visual appearance of the boat. So that took the longest, is to keep on coming up with ways. So this is 2" by 2" 1/4" steel tubing. And a lot of you guys have asked, hey, how about the weight and balance? Maybe you're adding all that on top. The vessel was actually designed originally with a pilot house on it. They did not put the pilot house on, so they've added weight in different locations. So those weights I've been removing and then calculating and adding the weight and the load. So this will be enclosed with sliding glass on starboard and port sides, and it will have 3 pieces of glass in the front with a center opening, 2 sliding doors in the back of the pilot house. It'll all be built out of high impact hurricane glass, which can take an 80-mile-per-hour impact of a 2x4 and still not break. So the pilot house will be just about impossible even for someone to break into with a hammer. We'll move to the front of the boat. I come up to the upper deck. I'm now standing on our raised salon, and the Wheelhouse rooftop is where we have the 6 solar panels mounted. Those solar panels have the slide design as I had mentioned in the past. Oh, cool. Looks like Santa Claus was here and forgot his glasses, or her glasses. Shit, they even fit perfectly. Cool. Hey. Oh, so these
Thank you.
radar mount on the mizzen mast, the crow's nest, Yana's house, and other little items that I've added to the mast. Also spreader lights that'll face to the bow and the stern of the boat. 2 solar panels that slide back to the dinghy mount. We have then 2 panels that are stationary and fixed, and then we have 2 panels that slide both to the port and starboard side. At the same time, this becomes the water collection location. All of the rainwater is on a 10-foot by 12-foot top that runs to the back, and there are 2 downspouts, so it will filter that water. The first 30 minutes we won't collect, but then it'll go into an additional tank for washing, cleaning, and free water from the boat. We had another question about how I managed all the cables with sliding solar panels, 340 watts each. What I did is, by using aluminum rails for the slides and then UHMW slide material, the solar panel is isolated from the slide. So each wire is connected to the positive and negative of the slide as a bus bar on each side. So I have 3 panels, positive, negative, 3 panels, positive, negative, and then I can series and parallel them down the engine room based on how those panels are situated based on where we are. So I utilize a bus system, only 4 wires for the complete system. I think that pretty well wraps it up.
Ooh, how about the inside? Well, thank you, by the way, for finding my glasses.
Man, I thought Christmas came early.
No, it didn't. So much. I'm saving inside for the next episode.
Sure you are.
Oh.
I hope that you have an amazing holiday. Merry Christmas to everyone, and you enjoy family time. We're going to be doing a little boat work, but then we're taking off as well for about 4 days.
Yes, we're actually preparing right now for the bottom painting that you will see in one of the upcoming episodes. If you guys have any questions about exterior, what William was talking about, please write them below this video, and then we will answer them in the end of the interior tour of the boat.
Excellent.
Excellent.
See you guys next year.
No, why next year? This
Oh,
year.
we have one. We have one more.
Also, let us know in the comments if you liked the tour, how you liked the job we did. Let us know. Give us some feedback.
Not like we're going to change it.
It better be nice.
All right.
Bye, guys.